Good morning, my students. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing amazing out there. Right. Today we're gonna discuss about adverb of frequency. This is the second topic for us in this 8th grade junior high school. Okay. Right. We're gonna talk about adverb of frequency for today. As you can see in the slide here, yes. And I'm sure that some of you already studied this topic before, probably in your English course or in your primary, when you were in primary level. But no matter happened, but for today we're gonna continue the lesson. Right, adverb of frequency. First, my question is, what is adverb of frequency? Yes, some of you already got your answer in your mind. But some of you, probably some of you, still think about it right now. Right, let's see here in this slide. Okay, look at the example here. Well, I always do my homework. Look at the always. The word always here in the red color shows this is the adverb of frequency. Okay, next. Alright, adverb of frequency say how often something happens. So adverb of frequency shows that how many times or how often something happens. Look at the chart here in the slide. Start from always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. Okay, if you do the activity 100%, it means you use always. Next, if you do it below 100%, you can use usually and go to often, sometimes, rarely, and never. Okay, I don't want to translate what is the meaning of the adverb of frequency here, always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never, because I'm sure that you already understood about this. But the problem is sometimes students don't know how to use the adverb of frequency, when they use always, when they use usually, when they use often, sometimes, rarely, and never. For example, in 30 days, 1 month, 30 days, for example, you do your homework every single day. It means you use always to show the activity that you do. But if you don't do it every day, for example, you do it for let's say, for example, 20 days in a month, it means you use usually. If you do it, for example, below 20 days, for example, 18 days, you use often. And if you do it, for example, of half days in a month, for example, of 15 days in a month, you use sometimes. And if you do it, for example, 5 times in a month, you use rarely. And if you never do it, or you do not think about your homework in a month, you use never here. Okay, right, we continue for the next slide. Adverb of frequency come after the verb be. So adverb of frequency, the position of adverb of frequency, there are some positions the adverb of frequency in the sentence. There are some positions of adverb frequency in a sentence. So the first one is adverb of frequency come after the verb be. Okay, I don't want to explain the verb be. Verb be means here auxiliary verb, yeah. For example, is, am, are, or so on. For example, in the sentence here in the slide, she is sometimes late. So the adverb of frequency sometimes come after the to be auxiliary is here. So in the position of the adverb of frequency in the sentence is come after the verb be. Okay, next slide. Number 2, or the second is the position of a verb of frequency usually come before other verbs. So for example, in the sentence, she often checks her answers. Okay, so the adverb of frequency often comes before the verb checks, ya. Jadi posisi dari adverb of frequency often di kalimat ini muncul sebelum kata kerja checks. Okay, next slide. Usually and sometimes can also come at the beginning or end of a sentence. Jadi untuk adverb of frequency usually and sometimes bisa muncul di awal bahkan di akhir kalimat, ya. For example, the dog eats his homework sometimes. Jadi di kalimat ini adverb of frequency sometimes muncul di akhir daripada kalimat. Next, sometimes the dog eats his homework. So the words sometimes in the sentence comes in the beginning of the sentence. And the third one is in the dog sometimes eats his homework comes in the middle of the sentence. So there are some variations for adverb frequency usually and sometimes. Okay, next. The example here, I sometimes study at my computer. Okay. Next, adverb of frequency usually connected to question with how often. How often. We use how often to ask about a frequency. As I told you in the previous slide, the function of the adverb of frequency to shows that how many times or how often do you do the activity. So if we want to ask the question about related to adverb of frequency, we use how often. For example here, how often do you study with a partner? The response should be like this: I rarely study with a partner. Okay, so this is the way we ask related to adverb of frequency. Okay, for example, in a practice to here, how often do you fall asleep studying? How often are you tired? Look at the sentence number 3. Listen to the teacher. How do we form this sentence become a question by using how often? Okay, I give you time to think about it. Okay, right. So the answer is, how often do you listen to the teacher? Okay, what about number 4? Practice speaking English. Right, I give you time to think about it. Okay, so the answer is, how often do you practice speaking English? Right, I think that's all about our topic for today, talking about adverb of frequency. Okay, so today we have discussed about adverb of frequency and also how to form up questions related to adverb of frequency. If you got a problem or if you still get confused about this topic, for today you may ask me to my WhatsApp number, or you may comment this video below. We can discuss it a little bit deeper. Okay, that's all our topic for today. see you in the next video talking another topic. Bye.